Welcome everybody to my latest Bank It or Tank It video. Big exciting stuff today. We're going to be talking about 5 stocks, letting you know whether or not they're on my Bank It list, and you can expect them to go higher, or they're on my Tank It list and set to head lower in this volatile market. So the big thing that we want to do every week when we take a look at these stocks is just take a step back from all the volatility that we've been seeing, all the ups and downs and whipsaws, and see where the key trends are taking place, the key levels that are developing, and how these stocks are ultimately adapting to this environment. And it all comes back to the price charts that we're going to dive into in just a moment. But before I do that, I'm just excited to announce that we do have a brand new service built around this whole concept of this Bank It or Tank It analysis. And because I run through these stocks every week, and we run through a few stocks, or I write about stocks, or I post them on Twitter, or I do a YouTube video like this, but I'm constantly analyzing charts, looking at stocks, predicting these key levels. But what you don't have after this is an alert system that's going to let you know when X stocks breaks above this key support, or below this key support, or above this key resistance, that it's time to take action, that you need to either add to your position in that stock, exit the stock, add call options, add put options, depending on how you want to trade it. I'm going to keep up with all of these companies along the way. We'll keep them on our books for months before we kind of move on to new trades and new positions. But at the end of the day, this is an alert system that's going to let you know when stocks are breaking down or when stocks are really starting to break out. And we did this just the other week with Tesla, right before the big drop that it saw. We had it as a Bank It or Tank It stock, and we had the key levels to watch. There was a key support just below where the stock was trading. It fell below that a few days later. I immediately issued a flash alert, is what I call them, and let people know you can jump into Tesla today with put options, expecting it to decline. And there we were just a week or so later. We're up 100% on that trade. So that was awesome to see. We haven't closed it out yet. I know Tesla's probably going to bounce soon, and then we'll look to take our profits on that trade. So we're watching Tesla closely. But look, this market, you saw what it did on Tuesday, right? It started lower, opened lower for the day, shot higher. That was a big rebound rally. My little brother's texting me that, things are taking off. The S&P is going to shoot up, to 400 on the SPY. Then all of a sudden, the Bank of England comes out and the stocks drop on their announcement saying that pension funds only have 3 days to sell. So every single little news item that comes up, we are seeing a lot of volatility in this market. That was just one day. The whipsaws back and forth. I mean, if you're a day trader, you probably love this stuff if you're good at it because you're making a lot of money. I like to play for at least a few days, few weeks, typically in my trends, and that's where I see the biggest money and most consistent money being made. So we're going to stick to that, and it comes back to these charts in that system that I'm telling you about. It's called Flash Alert System. So if you want to learn more, right up here there'll be a little box that you can click that'll tell you more about this offer, more about this opportunity, so that way you can join us, because there really isn't much more to it other than we run through the stocks here in these YouTube videos, and I issue articles about my Bank It or Tank It analysis, and then I add those to my system. They're on my watch list, and then bam, whenever an alert happens, I send you an email. If you're signed up to my Flash Alert trading service, you get an email letting you know that, for example, Tesla broke below support. It's time to add put options. And that was just one example. We're going to have tons more here coming up in the next couple of months, and now's a great time to join. So check it out if you haven't already to see how you can join us in our Flash Alerts trading service. Now let's dive in today. Our first stock here that we wanted to look at is Coinbase. Now this one has been falling off a cliff. That's a given with crypto, the bear market that's been in. We're settling down here now, the trading platform, and they just got some exciting news. As Google wanted to partner with them to bring crypto payments to their cloud services. So that was a big event for them, but you can see it didn't really move the needle on the stock. They're stuck down here in this wedge pattern. After the big drop lower, now they've been pinging around, and we're consolidating into this wedge pattern. You can see the breakout is about to happen. So we have a key resistance line here and a key support line here. And at this point, we just want to wait and see it break out. Overall, it's trending lower, so I'm going to have it on my Tank It list for today. I'm expecting it to break out to the downside, and then we'll play it as the stock moves lower from there. But if it happens to break out to the upside, then that's what all these key levels are about. Then it's time to jump in with call options and benefit from the breakout rally to the upside. Our next stock is Upstart Holdings. And this one, let me fix this adjustment here on the chart. Look how high it shot up. $400 a share. Back in the bubble here before it pops for the growth stocks, for the innovative companies. October of 2021, we're just talking a year ago, and it has just been completely obliterated since then. I mean, this is a massive, massive crash for the stock. And now it's consolidating down here in this tight falling wedge pattern. And that's going to lead to a breakout. But, I mean, you just don't want people to get stuck into thinking that this thing can't head to zero. If you caught my recent reports, and you get those, by the way, if you sign up for flash alerts, I have 10 stocks going bankrupt. This is not one of them. And I have 10 stocks that are going to shoot off to the moon. It's all hinged around my bear market guide to thrive. So if you haven't seen that yet, that's the #1 report that kind of sets everything up. But anyways, as we go through the bear market, that's what people forget a lot, is that companies don't survive bear markets. Not all companies go bankrupt, but there are going to be more companies than you have seen in the last since the last financial crisis, which was 2008. So since then, in the last 14 years, you have not seen anywhere near this amount of companies going bankrupt that we are about to see over the next year and a half or so. So that's just something to prepare for. I'm not saying that Upstart's going to be one of them. We're not looking into all the details for Upstart today. All we are looking at is this price action down here in a consolidation pattern. And I think it's going to be a tradable breakout once we get it to the downside. I think trading puts in Upstart is going to be tough. This is definitely on my tank it list, just given the massive crash that it's gone through. Hasn't given us any reason to really put this on a massive buy list just yet. We want to see it move higher from here. But with that said, if it breaks out of this, if it can just climb above this red resistance level, which it is just below, so it's not asking much for the stock. I mean, it could close this gap that we have from here and push it back up to $80 per share. So that's a massive move for the company. And these are the type of moves that can be typical with a bear market rally. So this is something that I wanted to watch out for. I wanted to definitely get on our radar to keep an eye on here over the next couple of weeks, is that if we do go into another bear market rally and this thing can break out to the upside of this, that's a great buying opportunity. And again, I'll send out those flash alerts. But today on my Tanget list, if it goes to the upside, there's room there to buy calls because of the premiums that are priced in the upside potential. To the downside, since our ultimately our potential is capped at 0, and they are already charging a pretty hefty premium for the plays to the downside, this stock would have to fall under $10 a share really for you to make a sizable gain. So at that point, it's another 50% crash from here, which is possible, but I may not play it. I'll send you an alert, but I may not have a put option recommendation with that. So that'll be up in the air. Wait to see how things play out when it breaks down to the downside, if that happens before we get the upside breakout. So that's how we're going to be looking at Upstart. Another company I want to look at was BlackRock. It's been in the news a lot lately. Look, Republicans funds are really pulling their money out of the company because they realize they're supporting just the opposite side of the aisle, their whole agenda there that BlackRock's pushing. So that was a big political statement that they went through, and it's punishing the stock. We're seeing the stock make new lows for the year. Big financial services firm heading lower. And you can see that this was a key support level here on the downside. Tested it not 2-3 times there. Held up. Stock made a higher high off of that bounce, but it is fell through now, fell back below this. And I think it holds. I mean, the way I'm going to look at BlackRock, I think there's better plays to the downside. If we're looking at opportunities with put options, it is on my tank it list for today because it is below this red resistance line, which will now act as resistance. Previous support, once it's broken, turns into resistance. So what I think we could see, though, is the stock bounce a little bit, get up here around the 560s, 565 per share, and then roll over from there. So that's what I would be waiting for an opportunity to really get into this trade. If we see it come back up, then I'll add a point below it that if it breaks through that, then we would jump in with put options and play another move to the downside. But right now, that's the risk that you face if you're trying to chase this stock lower. So we'll keep BlackRock on our tank it list for now. We'll add it to our watch list. Next up, Micron Technology. This is a semiconductor stock, tech stocks. It's been taking a beating here for a while. Definitely has this downward trend to the price pattern here. It's in a falling wedge pattern. It's got a little bit more wiggle room here. I'm going to add both of these as actions to take off of these alerts. I would love to see this thing go off to the upside, but given the current market environment, it's going to have to be another stock that for today we're going to have on my tank it list. I want to see things showing me more movement to the upside, get the breakouts that we want to see before I put it on an ultimate tank it list, looking for things to run higher. So today, 4 tank it stocks so far. We're watching this one to break out of one of these 2 key levels right here, and then we'll look to take action with the stock. So that's for Micron. So Cameco, a uranium miner, totally different chart that we're seeing here. I mean, I got more lines on it, but we see where things are trading and how things are trading. So we're going to add this stock to my Bankit list. First one on a Bankit list today, because they're out there. There are stocks out there that I'll add to my Bankit list right now, and we will watch them for still playing both sides of the market, because here it's right along a key support. So if it breaks below this green line, I'll probably look to play put options just because of the overall weakness in the market, and we can maybe play that back down here into the low 20s. So there's some opportunity there to play to the downside, but I added this line alert, the dash line alert here, that'll let me know once this gets back above that level. And I'm not seeing prices on Wednesday, so this will probably come out after Wednesday, so this could already have triggered. We'll see how things play out, but this is a tight alert here because I like what we're seeing in the key levels here. They're very solid, a very clear-cut key levels to watch. So once they're broken, we want to jump in, and I think that this stock could really be stuck in this wedge pattern a little bit longer before we get a breakout to the upside. But if we do get above this line alert level here that I have as a dashed line, I want to go long. I want to be able to go long and ride this major support up higher, back up to above the highs. So I'll definitely buy some time with this trade if we look to make that opportunity to the upside. To the downside, I think it'll be a shorter move, more of a swoosh to the downside where things just kind of flush out. And that's a big picture thing of what I'm waiting for. And to see in the market, I just think something big has to break before it happens. So that's all for today. Those are our 5 stocks that we're going to be keeping an eye on. Remember, click up here, get information on flash alerts, subscribe below to my channel. Let me know what you think about the video, about the stocks. Let me know the stocks you want me to feature in these Bankit or Tinket videos. I love all the feedback, so keep it coming. That's all for today. Until next time, I'm Chad Shooter.